All right.
Yeah.
Come here, little man.
Welcome to the podcast studio. We'll be on live
A chat. Full
with
screen.
Frank's positive vibes. So if you have a video, please come and like the video and subscribe.
All right.
Let's get started.
Sit down. Gotta give it a couple minutes.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see. Woo. My son.
It's right here without his braid.
My baby.
Got on the news. Hold on, he's searching.
Made the newspaper. Okay.
Right here. Parker Pioneer News. Stand strong together.
Okay. All right. So, just a little quick recap. Me and my wife, we went on live maybe a week ago. First broadcast just to test things out. That went pretty good. And then we jumped on with Frank's Positive Vibe. If you don't know the channel, go ahead and type in Frank's Positive Vibe, like and subscribe. It's real good content. He's a good brother. Really good. He gave us a platform, allowed us to say what we wanted to say, to get out there. And one thing about Frank's platform is he doesn't promote drugs, gang violence, prison politics, none of that. We sit and we talk about it because we're all ex-convicts, we're all gangbangers, ex-gangbangers, we're all ex-drug dealers. But we turn from the life. And we do these podcasts to try to deter you from living that life and going through what we lived through. I myself, I'm an ex-gang member from Los Banos, California, up in Northern California, Central Valley. And I got 3 numbers. I got 1 in Arizona and 2 in California.
Hello.
I got locked up at the age of 16 until I was 18. Immediately after turning 18, I went straight to prison. Now I turned my life around. After my last term I got in 2012, and I ended up signing for, I think, 32 months. And upon getting released, I decided to change my life. Walked away from a toxic marriage and got divorced, and I decided to take another route. And I started serving Christ. Try to live positive. I mean, nobody knows how to do it right off the bat. So I stumbled a little bit, had a spiritual encounter, and that sealed it for me. And after walking away from everything, I decided to start living right. I ended up with a new wife, a new life, new view on life. And tragically, my older sister was taken from me. My older sister was taken from us, brutally murdered. And that's what set the course for the movement that I'm now a part of, which is Stand Strong Together. And it's it's a community grassroots group designed that bringing the community together, and anyone can march with us. Anybody can walk beside us in our community marches and represent your loved one. Since I've been saved and since I turned my life around, I've gotten Employee of the Year. Baby steps. It's little accomplishments like getting Employee of the Year, getting Employee of the Month, becoming like a crew trainer, slowly getting into management, then from management, getting into GM positions or department manager positions. And it all starts off small. You don't just go from 0 to 90. And it takes time and it takes a lot of effort. And that's what I did. I started applying my new view on life at work, giving it my all. And even though I had a job that I only worked like 6 hours a day, and at 6 hours I gave it my all, and I ended up getting Employee of the Year. And then on my new job, I was a closer, and I started off washing dishes, and I did that, and I did the best I could, and I ended up within the same month I was approached and they asked me to be a crew trainer, and I jumped from that. Then I passed that position up, went straight to management. From management, I got in a position to where I was counting the safe count and everything. I mean, and then I just try to keep a positive view on life, and I eventually ended up going out, and I was asked to speak at a World Recovery in Yuma, Arizona, gang prevention, drug prevention, give my testimony. And so I started becoming a speaker. And after that, we would organize marches through the streets of Parker to combat and to raise awareness for drugs and violence of any kind, human trafficking. That led to being on Zoom meetings with advocates. So throughout the course of a few years, I was an ex-convict, freshly released from prison, discharged from parole, and I started asking to give my testimonies at revivals, at churches, and it's an honor to get up there and do it. So within the course of a few years of getting out of prison and living a new life, I became an advocate, a speaker. I gang prevention. Then I was asked on Project 911 to speak and raise awareness for teen suicide prevention out of Thermal, California. And then I was asked to speak at a National Justice Training Center in Las Vegas, Nevada. And in a couple of days, me, my wife, and my son, we're going to be flying out to the Great Plains Reservation in South Dakota to give testimony. And it's for murdered or missing Indigenous women. And, the Lord has brought me a long ways. And I'm always constantly waking up thinking of new ways of pushing this forward. And now I uploaded my testimony of my life and gangs, how I got there, and my road to and my road to how I became serving Christ, how I left the gang, and why I left the gang, why I left the prison life, everything, and it changed me. it changed me. I uploaded those videos, and through those videos and those testimonies, it's a 4-part. I had a lot of responses, had a lot of views, and in those comments, I had a comment from Frank's Positive Vibes asking me to go on the show, and if I would want to use the platform to get what we're part of, which is the Stand Strong Together, the community movement going. So I did that. I reached out to him after I had got the equipment and everything to do a podcast. I reached out to Frank. He put us on, and just a couple of days ago, and it's on his page, myself, another member, 2 other members, or myself, a member of the community, and another podcaster from Yakima, Washington, all jumped on, and we discussed what goes on the reservations, how crimes and murders go uninvestigated, how people come onto the reservations and murder Native women. My sister being one of them, my older sister, Cynthia Ann Williams, may she rest in peace. She was a victim of a brutal crime. Somebody, for $500 of meth, decided that they were going to stab her 17 times, beat her, wrap her in plastic, and throw her in a canal. And over $500 of meth. And they thought they were going to get away with it. They were both caught. And a lot of people don't know that this is going on in the reservation. So our movement is to educate people, and this is going on everywhere. When we march to the state capitol on May 5th, which is the National Awareness Day for Murdered and Missing Indigenous Women, we met other families, other survivors, and other families that are still seeking justice. And I reached out to those families, and in the coming weeks, we're going to have a lineup of not only survivors, people that are still looking for justice, people that need answers, that are going to come on and tell the frustrations that they're going through. And that way we can raise awareness and get it out. The more we get it out, the more it's known. And that's our mission. Our mission is to expose the dirtiness, the unjust dirtiness that is happening on every single reservation throughout the United States and Canada. Today, it's called the silent genocide. And it's sad. It's sad to think in this day and age that women, children, and men could just be murdered and dumped to the side like garbage and nobody kick up dust. But it's happening today. I have my older sister Cindy that was discarded like trash, and I have my cousin Albert who was just murdered brutally this December. And because of tribal laws and jurisdiction confusion, the person suspected of his murder is only going to get a year for criminal homicide. I mean, how is that just? And those are just the topics that we're going to bring about. And this subject is so, it needs to get out there so much that right now, today, Brother France Beasley from AZ Common Ground walked from LA all the way clear across the United States, and today he just made it to the Statue of Liberty. All of that to raise awareness for murdered and missing Indigenous women, murdered and missing Indigenous people, and all women of color. Because there's a trend going on that if you ain't the perfect victim, you're not getting no news coverage. And a lot of these victims are, there's a lot of victim blaming. Well, what was she doing around those men? Why was she in there with them? She wanted it. She was doing drugs. She was jumping from house to house. If she didn't want this to happen there, she should have never been there. And that's the kind of attitude law enforcement goes into it with. They don't want to look for people who are considered homeless, promiscuous. They don't want to look for people who, are addicted to drugs or alcoholics or anything, or even just living funny. They figured, why putting the effort into it? They didn't care about their own lives when it's not even true. There's still somebody. They're all in it's epidemic going on right now. And so our page, our community grassroots group called Stand Strong Together, we march every December and we attend events all around the areas. Wherever we're asked to go, we go, and we help support families and survivors. We help support those who don't know what to do. We support them, and through it, we all learn. And now with these podcasts coming up, we're gonna be having more guests, more survivors getting up here and telling their stories, because the world needs to know what's going on. And I've already talked to more than a few survivors, and we're gonna get those stories out. And this is the perfect platform to do it. And I hope these stories reach who they're supposed to reach, and I hope it helps educate. And in return, I hope whoever listens to these podcasts can help give us some help and push us in a direction that we would help benefit us in finding justice. And tomorrow we're going to try to get on, but we're going to see, because me and my wife, like I said before, me, my wife, and my son, we're going to be flying out to South Dakota. We're in Arizona right now. We're flying way out there to speak and to help raise awareness over there. And prayers are appreciated, and support. So the support is just awesome. I mean, we have a lot of supporters, and we just wish to educate everybody in the coming podcast in the coming months. And any questions, anything that anybody's got to say, just reach out, let us know. And if you want to come on, if you want to tap on, we'll bring you on. Questions, anything, you know what I mean? Our mission is to educate and to get those stories out there. We're the voice for all those who cannot speak anymore. And we're going to continue to speak and march, and just want to say thanks to everybody for giving us the time and platform. With that being said, just have a good night. God bless.